Okay, I will explain this performance twice. The first time is going to be as fast as I can. The second time is going to be with more details. Okay. I have the two kings, one color, and the ace different color. Okay. I'm trying to make a lot of contrast from the face and the back. Then I do a reverse counting by reversing, just one by one. Then I need to conceal the back of the ace. I'm reusing the first card and keeping the second and the third together. Okay, take one, and I had no breaks at this point, and I peel it back off the card, the first card that I took, and put it on top. I will go in detail later on, and then I do a Roomba count, and then a regular count, and a regular count. And then I'm concealing this corner with the ace, so nobody knows which king goes in the middle and which king goes to the bottom. Okay, the reason is because I'm going to do a double lift, so at that second I'm exposing one of the kings. That's why I try to conceal them since the beginning, and because I need to get rid of this top card, I don't want to expose the ace. I'm trying to keep the thumb until my wrist reach 45-degree angle while spinning, then I let go. Okay, clip this card with the index and middle finger and grab these two square, and then pretend you're putting this card in the middle. You need to struggle or pretend you're struggling, but don't just do this, because this card is actually going all the way to the bottom. Okay, so just don't make it too obvious. And then I'm gonna spin the two cards from the bottom. Okay, I will explain that later on. Then I show the ace by bending the ace, okay, while showing it to the spectator. Then I bend these two cards the opposite way. The reason that I'm bending them is when I put them all together, when I squeeze, I expose the card in the middle and the ace. But for me to conceal the color or the back of the ace, I'm pushing up here with the index finger while pointing the ace. Then I go back down completely parallel to the floor. Then I squeeze to reach the card in the middle with the middle finger. Okay, by squeezing. Then I do the exact same thing as the first time. I square, pretend I'm gonna put this card in the middle by struggling a little bit, but it actually goes all the way to the bottom. Then I will spin the two cards from beneath once again, with the purpose of showing the color of the ace, the back. And that's it. There is a variation. Instead of doing the squeezing method, you can do the glide method. And notice I have the grip, the index, and the thumb. The second, third, and fourth finger, I'm going to bend them right beneath, and I'm going to hold that in position with the pinky finger, the ace. The pinky, notice the pinky, goes back a little to pull this card behind, so I can reach the card in the middle. And bring this back, so you can grab it from below. Then again, pretend you're putting the card in the middle, but it goes all the way to the bottom, and spin the two cards below again. And that's it for this quick explanation. Now I will go into details. Okay, so this is going to be the detailed explanation. Notice I do a regular reverse counting, then I try to keep the same grip and the same speed in the process of concealing this ace. The way to do it is I peel off the top card, then I completely square. Okay, I'm not opening any fingers, just the tips. Okay, let me put it face up. Notice when I take this card and put it back down, there is no movement in my fingers, and there is no breaks neither, so I can just peel it off again and reuse it. 1, 2, and 3. That's it. With no breaks. There is another way you can do a break. maybe this is going to be a little bit secure. I take the top card, then the tip of this index finger. It's not really in the front or below, it's a little bit above. Okay, so when I bring it back down, I'm putting these two cards above the tip of the index finger, above the flesh. Okay, so I can keep or clip these two top cards with the index, the tip, against the hand. Hold them in position while retaking the card from below. Take one, the flesh or the tip, separate the second and the third card from the top one, which is the first one that I'm taking. So I can retake and keep these two always in place so I don't expose the color. So that's going to be up to you. However, notice that the grip, it's exactly the same when doing a reverse counting, and I'm doing it from the long side of the cards. That gives me better results personally. I don't do it from the short side or from the corner, I do it from the long side. Maybe to do a regular reverse counting is not the big deal. The big deal is doing the same reverse counting. Well, it looks similar, but obviously I'm trying to conceal the ace. And then I did a rumba count. The rumba count is with a thumb below and then index, middle and ring finger above. Turn over the three cards, peel off the top one, then turn back down whatever is left, in this case the kings, and then a regular count, and 3. So that way the rumba count looks like a regular count. Okay, the rumba count, regular count, and regular count. I pick up the ace, I conceal the corner right here, so nobody knows, not even the magician, you don't need to know which king goes in the middle, which king goes in the bottom, because I'm gonna expose one of the kings by doing the double lift. Then I take the top card, I leave the thumb from side to side, I twist the wrist 45-degree angle, and then I let go, so I don't expose the color of the ace. Clip it with an index and middle finger, and because they're perfectly square, you're supposed to struggle, you know, but don't over exaggerate. Then put it all the way to the bottom, hold it with the index finger, and this is going to be the spin, which maybe it may or may not be the most difficult part of the performance. If you're trying to keep the spinning, the before and after exactly the same, well, the closest as you can, that's going to be better, but at the same time that's going to be a bit difficult. Anyway, the way the spinning works, the ring finger, I'm just using the middle and the ring finger, that's it. The ring finger is contacting these two cards, the third and the second, right here, about here, and the ring finger, the middle finger, is going to be the pivot finger. Both cards from below are going to be spinning above the middle finger, but the middle finger doesn't really have to be in the middle. It can be right next to the ring finger, and all I'm doing is stretching the ring finger. The thumb is right in the middle of the second and third finger, but I'm not using the end of the tip, I'm using the whole flesh of the tip, and the ring finger has to be bended so I can stretch it, and the two cards below may spin by stretching the ring finger. Now I'm using the index finger as well. That gives me a better control. You don't have to use the index finger, but that's better in my opinion, because by stretching the ring finger I'm retracting the index, and that may give you a better control, so you may end up as square as you can. Now there are three gestures. One is just shaking it from side to side. The second one is by waving too much. And the last one, which is the one I used, is a circular motion. Okay. And whatever you feel more comfortable, you can use it. But anyway, the circular motion, it gives me a little bit more time. And it's a little harder to follow. I will make a little bit more emphasis on the spinning because I know this is one of the trickiest part for a lot of you. Okay, ring finger goes right here, close to the palm of the hand, so I can stretch it later on to do the spin, touching the third and the second card, right in the middle. Okay. The ring finger, the middle finger, I'm sorry, goes about here, and I leave a stretch in the index finger. So by stretching the ring finger, I may retract the index finger, okay? But the thumb remains in the middle of the second and third finger, which is the middle and the ring finger. To make it easier to understand, just second and third finger. That's the main deal. Both cards still spinning very well. That's it. But the index finger, like I said, it gives me a better control. Then I take the ace by bending the ace a little bit. Then I bend these kings in the process of showing them. So the bend is not too obvious. It looks reasonable when showing each one. So I can squeeze and reach the card in the middle with the middle finger. But you don't try to squeeze in the process of going down. Make sure your hand, the three cards, are completely parallel to the floor. So you may squeeze to reach the card in the middle with the middle finger. Completely down, squeeze in the process of reaching. Okay. And that's it. And do exactly the same as the first time. Pretend you put in the card in the middle, but it goes all the way to the bottom. And do the spin that I already explained. Show the ace and the kings, and that's it. And just remember, you can do the glide method instead of the squeezing method. So that's going to be up to you.